Yo, yo, welcome back. I know there's not a lot of people here because we're starting a little early. We're going to go live at 1:30. It's 12:40, but the spice is brewing, and it does seem like it is time to go live. In the last 5 minutes, we've traded up 3%. Super exciting. From 18.3 all the way to 18.8. Holy crap. This is actually pretty big. This is very spicy. Hopefully people find the live stream. I don't even know if we're live. Might not be. Here's what we're looking at. Let's get rid of a bunch of this. It's not the chart I thought, but here's what we're looking at. This weekly now reaching a higher high, breaking past December's high, really running up into this previous support here. This is pretty freaking nice. I did not expect this today. If we look at the weekly moving averages, see some good things. Down here, the 300. We've retaken the 300 weekly and potentially the 20 weekly, this white line here. The 20 weekly is a big moving average on the weekly time frame as it's the center or the basis of the Bollinger Bands indicator. The 20 is always an important moving average. If we look back at the history here, we see that our run up to just about 48K in March of 22 brought us to that 20 weekly. I don't know if we're live. It's saying 0 concurrent viewers. I don't care. Let me know if we're live, but I don't care, but I do care. Let me turn on these tunes. We went live emergency style. Welcome back. Sorry for the spice, but never apologize. Never apologize for the spice. My computer's not running great. Not really loading up my music here. It's saying we're not live, but you guys are saying we are live. I'll believe you. I'll believe you over the believe you over that. One sec. Come on. Yo. There we go. Okay. Cool. All right. Music actually did load up. Let's just put on lo-fi tunes for right now. Okay. Cool. Let me know how the volume is. Let me know how the music volume is in the chat if anything's out of whack. So let's get into it again. Sorry. Got distracted. Rejected from 48K here at the 20, and then again in October at 21,000 roughly. Rejected from the 20. Here we are again. I actually like this move up. I was actually just on the BitBoy AM show doing TA for them, and I was talking about the 20 weekly a little bit. At that time, and this was just an hour ago, we were below the 20 weekly, and I was saying, man, this is a huge pivot point, and I hate to say the boring analysis of it can go up or down. That's always true. It always goes right, it never goes left. But breaking through this 20 is actually big news. Now, we do have 3 days and 7 hours to go, and so there's plenty of time for that to sell off back down below. That would not be ideal, as we don't want to end up looking like these previous weeklies here with kind of the, let's say, close right below the 20 weekly, kind of like a doji or some consolidation, then a big sell-off. That's pretty par for the course here. This could be a big deal. This could be a very big deal. I showed on the BitBoy show this morning. I did show this. This is kind of like my projections. It's like we're looking to either, this seems really simple, but there's a little madness with it. We're looking to either close above, retake the 20, move to about 2021, the 20 weekly, up to 20K, 21K, sorry. Maybe back test on the 20, not really needed, but that would be a clean test of support. I would like that. And then I'd like to see a move higher and stair step our way back up. That would be really the road back to, let's say, 28K-ish down here, or 28K to 31. Kind of the support consolidation at our previous all-time high. That would be the road back up. However, there is in play as well. In the next 3 days, we sell off below the 20. If we reject, I do expect then probably a test to the bottom of this Bollinger Band, which is sitting right near our lows. If we break through those lows, I could see price coming back up, testing those lows as resistance, and that would likely be that move we're looking for. Well, I'm not, but lots of people are. That move down to the next support. The next support sitting at 13.8. You can call it 14K, whatever you'd like. That's the next logical historical macro support below us. So weekly, man, I'm so happy this happened. This is going to really set up a lot of pieces of the chart we've been looking to come together that haven't yet. The weekly, we're starting to see money flow trend up. VWAP making a higher high here. These two things have not been in play in a long time. This is actually pretty solid. I want to look at this daily. We'll get rid of these little jiggly lines. Get rid of those. Get rid of this. On the day, pretty damn spicy as well. I hope you guys are feeling it. By the way, guys, smash the likes and subscribes if you're on YouTube or TikTok. Shout out to TikTok with 9 viewers. Shout out to YouTube with, I don't know, still saying 0. Keep hyping the stream. Share it. Like it. Chat while we're live. I'm going to be reading the chat today. Vote in the polls. I don't know if I said subscribe. Engage with the live stream so that YouTube shows this to more people. The more engagement we get, the more viewers it will show our stream to. It's very important. It does work. It's not placebo. All right. On the day, right here, January 4th, Bollinger Bands. So there's some interesting stuff. I'm not going to go really into the Bollinger Bands, but what you need to know for this point is Bollinger Bands are essentially the 20 moving average, and the lines above and below are just one standard deviation in price, higher or lower. When the bands get very wide, price tends to, I guess, lose volatility. When the bands contract, like we see right here on the 4th, this implies that volatility is coming. Large moves are created from these tightening of bands. We can look back and say October, bands got pretty tight. We saw a move up, but a very volatile move down. Bands got pretty tight in August, dumped. Got pretty tight here in our consolidation. And let's see if there's any good points here. Let me see if there's anything good. Here we go. July 2020, bands got extremely tight. We saw a move to the upside. These are usually a precursor to volatile moves, and we're getting kind of what we would expect to get off of these. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. Daily, VWAP's trending back up. I'm still a little cautious with this not super clear-cut VWAP. However, money flow reaching highs back to August of 2022. Momentum is soaring. I was really worried about a double top on our indicators here. Doesn't look like we're getting it. We're just clear sailing into the 18s. I'll take it. I'll take it. Our 618 retrace right at 19K. That makes sense. 20K up here. Let's get a few more indicators on. I've got some energy today. The spice, it's got me moving. MACD. Here's like my only concern so far in the day. I should look at this on the week. Here's the only concerning thing I've seen on the chart this morning. The daily RSI has rocketed. Now it's at 80. It can definitely go higher than 80. However, looking left, I think we have to go all the way back to February of 21. Looking left, February of 21 was the last time RSI was this high. And unfortunately, and as crappy as it is, oops, that's all the way back here at 40-ish K before the all-time high at 60, 65, 69, whatever. So RSI, very hot, very overbought. Now, overbought doesn't mean price has to go down, doesn't mean price can continue to, or can't continue to go up. In fact, most uptrends, you will see RSI in the overbought status. Typically, it'll drop maybe below 80 or below 70, wherever the standard lines are. And then regain it and make essentially another move on overbought. So don't take RSI overbought, oversold as like advice for what you should do next. Something being oversold is not a sign that it has to go up. Being overbought is not a sign that it has to go down. However, that's going to paint some pretty nasty bearish divergence. We're going to have to see here. This is what's being implied by the RSI, at least in my opinion. Let's pull this up. Even if we look locally, we say November 5th, we had a high in price that was 21K. Now we have higher RSI. So what we have to be worried about, or have to not worry, we have to pay attention to is where does this high end up? If its rally is essentially stunted here at 18.7, that's pretty nasty bearish divergence. However, if this rally can continue up and retake that high, that bearish divergence is off the table. A smart trader can make a position or a trade just based on that information right there. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I don't do that. I'm just here going through the charts, and I have all my wonderful fam with me. And that's just living the life for me, man. I love it. Love it. Actually, I said this on BitBoy's show today, too. I'll say it here. 2022 was the brutalest crypto price action. Not in downside terms. In fact, it's been somewhat mild in downside terms. But in price action terms, We saw almost zero bounce the entire year. It was almost just down. We had 4 quarters of red. That's absurd. That is some of the most painful price action I've ever seen on a chart. And so right now, we have essentially on the daily, I'll go back. On the daily, we have essentially the longest string of green candles. Now, we do have 2 little red guys in there, but if we kind of give it a little bit of leeway here in our measurement and say, this is a string of green candles, this is by far 11 days. This is by far the biggest string that we have seen. If we go back, there are definitely some like 8s. I think this is it right here? 4, 5, 6, and that's 6. Right here. Here we go. This is 8. We have 8 again, I think right here. We haven't had this. So basically, I got a little off topic. This has been so brutal. This feels good now. Hopefully it does. Let yourself feel good about this. This is like kind of my sage words here. Enjoy it. Celebrate it, right? Don't just mull over the bad and the pain and then ignore the good. This is good. This feels good. I feel good about it. However, it is not FOMO time. This is not a time to all of a sudden right now 100x leverage your whole portfolio. No. This is potentially a dead cat bounce. If it is, I'd expect to see higher. Potentially the bottom is in. We're not going to know. So what I think everyone should keep in mind is let yourself feel good. You deserve it. You've earned it. Feel good. Celebrate. But don't let that impact your mindset or your trading plan. Don't make changes. There's nothing confirmed yet. There's no guarantee. My camera's effing frozen again. What is with this camera, dude? Why does it keep doing this? Oh my God. I'm trying to have a spicy stream and my camera is just going to be a diggler. Give me 2 seconds. I think I might know how to fix this. I turn it off, pull the battery out, put the battery in, unplug it from the computer, replug it into the computer, turn it back on, click the button. Let's see, did that work? Nope. I'm freaking frozen. Awesome. I'm gonna make myself real tiny down here. Why does it do this? Why? My camera is bearish. I'm just gonna be very tiny in the corner today. I don't have time to troubleshoot this. Womp. Of course, making me look bad. Making me look like a robot. Yes, feel good, dude. Feel good. Enjoy it. Let yourself feel positive vibes for a bit. You know, it's been really savage. Just don't change your trading plan. All right, to the week really quickly here. Same deal. RSI, we have a higher high. That is my only concern. This, even visually, on the daily, I think, you can see we have not had price action like this in a while. That is mostly up. There's not a lot of pullback. There's not a lot of selling. Well, I guess they're selling, but not a lot of pullback. This is throwing RSIs right up to the moon, and it's something we want to be aware of. We definitely want to be aware of because we really need to retake these price points, these recent highs, to avoid painting really ugly bearish divergence. Let me see. Weekly momentum, good. All right. Man, I hate when my camera's not on. I feel like I'm not even streaming. It's lame. Let's, Ichimoku Cloud has been really great to us lately, so let's see what Ichi has in store. I forgot. I can pick my nose now. You guys can't see me. Let's see what Ichimoku Cloud has in store. All right, so we did take 17.3. We're talking about that for many streams. 17.3. Every road seemed to lead to 17.3. Well, that's behind us now. That's behind us now. The 12-hour cloud was sitting there. I think we had probably, what, on the day maybe? No, that was the KJ on the day. All right, that has moved down. We've seen a cross up under the clouds. And even the daily, damn, this was our next upside target, was 18.3, 18.4. For this flat, fat cloud on the day, we have rocketed it through that cloud. Looking solid. Looking really solid. I would not, would not be surprised to see a back test, though, of 18.4. Might come sooner, might come later. Don't know. But that was some pretty significant resistance that got blasted through. It makes sense to test that as support for liquidity grab reasons. In that scenario, maybe we see this. It would be nice if this wicked a little higher, taking out that high, but I could definitely see a pullback there at some point. Definitely see that to 18.4. Clouds twisted, but not a lot there on the day. We can imply here, this is pretty weak cloud price action, pretty weak cloud cover. They call it cloud cover. Really weak cloud cover right there. So what, January 25th to the 5th of February? I would be looking at the charts. I mean, I will anyway, but I'd be definitely paying attention to the charts during that time frame. Nice. So the weekly, we got a little lightning strike. Got a little lightning strike to the downside on this candle. I like it. The weekly, according to Ichi, 20.3K is the TK line. This is the next logical, honestly, looking at just Ichimoku Cloud, this is the next logical step. You've broken through the TK, got your lightning strike, and now it's headed up. I think 20.3 is probably on deck. Man, we really called that. We really called 17.3 and 18.3, 18.4. That was fire. I'll show you guys my live trades then. We'll get through this. 12 hour, you have that kind of same weak cloud cover coming up at the same time period, basically. Your TK and KJ rocketing up with price. Nice. When was the last time we were above the cloud? October of 22. October into November. I'll take that. The 6 hour, this is pretty juicy. We looked at this recently. Shout out to Ultra Chaos Steve too. We saw a weakness in the cloud. Price, boom, went right through it. Back tested the cloud and now has really been only up. I will take it. What are our indicators saying? I'm liking this a lot more. This is a much healthier climb on RSI with these kind of progressive highs and lows. We're now at the highest point in our RSI on the 6 hour and likely not going to paint bearish divergence there. We can't take this high. It's way too far back for the 6 hour. You take this high. We have a higher RSI, higher price. That's good. No bearish divergence there in the 6. I like it. I like what we're seeing. What I'm noticing here on these lower time frames with Ichi is the TK and KJ are really doing a dance with price. We're seeing them really smoothly come up with price. Price is moving away from them, coming back, moving away, coming back. And it's making progressively higher jumps, actually. I'm digging that. That is a strong uptrend. Not gonna lie. That is a decent uptrend. That's the way you do it. Yesterday we had a pretty sweet rally to 18.3. On the 4 hour, we see some pullback. This seems pretty random there, a little wick to 19K, but now sitting at a bullish engulfing candle. If in the next 2 hours we can close up here, things are going to look pretty solid. Pretty solid, guys. How you all feeling? Hope you're feeling good. I've been enjoying this spice, man. The last year's been brutal. This pattern, this hourly kind of looks like a broadening wedge. Didn't really mature very much. We only had, what, 3 tests to the bottom. I guess technically we had 2 and a breakout to the top. It's a little flag. Let's see what our extension tool will show us. 18.8 poop. That would have been good to have there before the rally. Not a lot of info there. Let's check this out. Actually, I'm going to go down to really low time frames. I'm loving this. As soon as I don't even need to look at indicators. Loving this. You have the move up, a pretty mild move back, and now kind of these indecision-y consolidation candles. We have seen a lot of this on the way up. Back here, I posted on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter. I posted this little bull flag in the 5 minute right before it jumped. And this is basically how it started. Now, I want to see this develop, but we're seeing kind of a new energy in these rallies with these moves up, really mild pullbacks, and then kind of just like tightening consolidation into a flag. I don't really trust flags in crypto. However, when we're in a pretty definite trend, the flags tend to vibe a little better with price. Let's look at the 5. Money flow is really low. We have lower highs, but momentum is through the moon. VWAP could be stronger. My read on the 5 minute is pretty much the same. That consolidation kind of flagging out here. It is at risk of rolling over, but it's only the 5 minutes, so it's really not a huge deal. 15 looking very strong from the candles. Very strong VWAP move. Money flow rolling up with momentum. Man, we might not have seen the end of this rally. We may see more upside in this stream. And as I say it, here we go. Pushing to 19. This is the worst day ever not to have my camera. This sucks. I'm all happy. You guys can see me happy. I'm excited. I'm vibing. We'll look at that trade. It's definitely vibing in profit. Yep, here we go. There we go. The short time frames did not lie to us. We already got that extension or farther move up in this stream. 45 minutes. Definitely seeing a potential here for this kind of inverse head and shoulders pattern on momentum. We've actually spotted a lot lately and has led us to some pretty good conclusions. You are coming off a higher low in the 45 despite a lower high. But if this low holds, man, I think it's going to try to test a new money flow high in the 45. That would be definitely solid. I'll take it. Definitely. Down to the hour. Choppy seas, man. There's some choppy seas on that, like these lower time frames. This weird kind of bump in money flow followed by kind of a shelving of money flow isn't typically ideal. I need to see these lows continue to come up, and we need to see these highs break. It does look actually pretty decent. You can see maybe that inverse head and shoulders forming on the hour as well, right there. Wonder if on the 30. Okay, here's what we're looking for on like this. I'm digging it. That's kind of what I'm looking for here for momentum. You can see it on the hour, 45.30. What about the 15? 15 is not going to be so clear. That's fair. That's fair. Let's go to the 2. Down at the 2 hour. All right, this is where things start looking good. This is what I want to see. I love it. Money flow is just trending up. It's taking very light pullbacks, not breaking its lows, continuing to break its high. VWAP really needs to push up there to continue this. But momentum, not even getting close to the 0 line. We have not seen price action, or we have not seen momentum in this condition in a while. In a while. This is spicy. This is spicy. Spice. 4 hour pretty damn good. 2. Look at this. We haven't seen this in a year. You're seeing these hits to the 0 line of momentum just getting bought, pushed back up. Market is not looking to sell right now. Market is remaining very one-sided. 6 hours, beautiful. What the hell is this? This is like a bull run. What is this? What is this? We haven't seen that. I don't know. We haven't seen that in forever. Momentum just making higher highs with money flow. VWAP's a little crappy, but hopefully that can catch up. I'm loving what I'm seeing here. I'm loving what I'm seeing here. Unfortunately, it does look like what the 6 hour just opened. Poop. 6 hour just opened. Might see some just like sideways price action trading here. All right, I'm pretty oriented. I'm pretty oriented now. 12 hour, man, like Jesus. It's like resurrecting. It's coming back, man. Money flow, higher highs. Look at this momentum. Where even is it? Momentum's all the way up like over 100. When was the last time it was up over 100 on the 12 hour? August. It's weird. If you guys have been here for the entirety of the stream so far, there's a few things that kind of seem to connect to August. Where's that? Back here, which is really interesting because we were looking for something like this on LiteCoin, and it is playing out. That's pretty damn spicy. Pretty damn spicy there. What should we look at next? So, all right, we should talk about the CPI. We should talk about CPI data really quick. I guess I kind of forgot because, well, I already did it once today. Haha. Let me pull this up. We got 500 viewers, guys. 160 likes. Can we smash more likes for the live spice stream? If any day we should get 420 likes, it should be today. Because it's spicy. Where did my notes go? No, my notes. No. I might have lost them. What a terrible, terrible thing to happen. I think I might be able to find them. All right. So, let's talk about CPI quick. We follow the Fed. We follow CPI. We follow all of these macro indicators. So I'll just kind of rehash here. The headline rate of inflation in the U.S. fell to its lowest level since 2021 in December. This encourages hopes that the Federal Reserve will soon be able to stop raising interest rates. That's what we want. I know it's still a pipe dream, but this is how it starts. It's not going to be overnight. I was saying this earlier. The Consumer Price Index, or CPI, fell 0.1 from November. This brings the annual change down to 6.5% from 7.1% last month, or in the previous month. The monthly drop in the index was well below, or not well below, it was below analyst forecasts for no change. They were really looking for zero. So this is slightly dovish, slightly positive. Not mega bull, but this is, you know, baby steps. Baby steps make the journey. But the annual rate is still in line with consensus. So this suggests that the Federal Reserve may soon be able to stop raising interest rates and may lead to a decrease in the value of the dollar. Let's pull up the dollar. And bond yields. Yeah. As a result, stock futures may rise and gold futures may also see an increase as non-interest-bearing assets tend to perform better when bond yields fall. However, analysts in general believe that this figure is not enough to prevent the Fed from raising rates again at its next meeting, and that'll be February 1st, given the continued strength in core prices. So that is all pretty reasonable. So we look to these signals. We could expect a weakness in the dollar. We identified this ascending low trend a while ago. It's from the low in May of 21 up to January 22, and this has been pretty much the uptrend. This is really defined the uptrend until you're about to see it. You're about to lose it. Smash the likes. Until literally today when CPI data came out. Show me the chart, I'll tell you the news. Today opened just below that trend line, and now we're seeing lower lows being explored. We have been I was looking for a dead cat bounce on the dollar, but with a break of this trend, man, I'm looking for that 101 to 100 point. Like, this is so clear cut. Look at the precision here. So weakness in the dollar, check. Gold may see an increase. Gold currently on a 3-month ripper. Up 4.12% this year, sorry. So only in the last few weeks. Gold, I think it's safe to say gold showing a little strength. Dollar showing a little weakness. Stocks, I'm just going to pull up S&P 500. Just for kind of the argument. Not huge, not crazy, nothing crazy going on, but we do see a higher low here. And a move back to resistance. So stocks showing a little strength here. I think that is enough. Damn. But falling asleep. I think that's enough to say that prediction is that's pretty spot on. Weakness in the dollar, strength in gold, strength in stocks. Bitcoin, I mean, let's throw that in the ring. Bitcoin, non-interest bearing asset, performing awesome. I guess it moved up to just under 19. Maybe I should tweet. Should I tweet it? I'm going to tweet it. Let's say Bitcoin 19K. Let's put a bell so everyone knows. Let's throw this over. Bitcoin 19K. Boop. There it is. Send now. I'll put this in the chat. Put this in the chat for y'all. Speaking of that, I have to read the chat at some point. I've just been on a freaking spice ripper, guys. Make sure you're liking, subscribing, voting, chatting, engaging in the poll. That'll be a good time to insert ads, says YouTube. No, we don't insert ads here. 600 viewing. We've gone through kind of the compass alignment we do every day on the chart for Bitcoin. I've got a few spicy charts to look at still. We went over CPI data just right now. And let's jump into the next thing, I suppose. We have 250 likes with almost 600 viewers. Those are rookie numbers. Let's get them up. Here is Bitcoin divided by the M2 supply. If you're not familiar with that, go Google it. It's basically, in my opinion, a better measure of inflation. It essentially is like somewhat liquid savings, money, etc. And I find it to be a really good measure of inflation. So what we're doing is getting a better look at how Bitcoin is performing against the dollar or against inflation. And so what this shows us, we've looked at this before, is a pretty cool story. Most people in general, I think, are looking for kind of this line down here. This was the monthly resistance in 2019. It was potentially tested as support in November at Bitcoin's low. But if we look at the Bitcoin chart, this level is that 13.8. So what's interesting to me is Bitcoin, when measured for inflation, has tested that 2019 monthly resistance as support, and so far it has held. As we have seen, at least for now, a bullish engulf on the monthly. That's pretty spicy. Bitcoin itself didn't touch 13.8, but when measured versus inflation, it's reached that same retracement level. That's pretty damn spicy. The numbers over here on the right, this is a calculation you can see in the background, times a bajillion. So you don't really need to pay attention to these numbers, they're just for scale. But on this chart at this 1,000 level, retaking that is going to be a very good sign that we're looking to go back to 21's lows. That's all the way at like 30K. I'm watching this very closely. I think this is a really spicy chart. I like how it diverges from Bitcoin. Let's put this on. Put this on the mod so I can show you guys what I was talking about. Here we go. So right here. Oh wait, that's 10. Crap, my bad. 10.8. That's the equivalent of 10.8. 10.7. I misspoke. The wicks up here are at 13.8. So when measured versus inflation, Bitcoin has essentially backtested 10,750. And that's pretty remarkable, as that's a super strong support for Bitcoin's chart. Price hasn't reached there. You know, everything's still on the table. Still possible that we go down there, but things are looking less and less likely as we go forward. I find that wild, like the difference. You rarely see kind of charts diverge like this. So this is as if Bitcoin tested 10.8K when measured for inflation. Maybe that's the 10.8K that everyone's waiting for. Maybe it doesn't come back. Who knows? Time will tell. Time will tell. Where did my other chart go? I have like 8 million charts pulled up because I got infinite freaking alerts last night. Let's take a look at total. This chart, very near and dear to our hearts. I like this as well because this is another example of the Bitcoin chart through a different lens. This is total market cap. It includes Bitcoin and all your other coins, so it's not just Bitcoin. But what we see here, which is pretty cool, 2018's high, 761 billion. That was resistance. Ended the bull run. Took 2+ years. Get back up. Here we are. Let's zoom it in. Here we are. We did trade below it. We trade below it very briefly. Lots of market action actually under that price. And we can see that this rally started from just below and has not stopped. It has broken December's high. Maybe we can look for resistance on here. Currently bullish engulfed. We could definitely take some resistance right here from these monthlies. Maybe another one right here. There we go. That looks pretty good. Total crypto market cap smashing into 865 billion. And this is calculated by TradingView. So if you see a different measurement of market cap somewhere, you're not crazy. You're not crazy. Let's get rid of this one. There we go. We don't need this anymore. We really don't need a lot of this anymore. We're at a monthly resistance. This is pretty spice. It's basically where we consolidated. We broke support. We never backtested it. Now we are backtesting it. So this is also kind of a sketchy point on the chart. If we do see a major pivot here, major reversal, that would set us up for something like this. We did go from a similar base. Let me get rid of these lines. We did go from a similar base here to a higher high before falling, and that could be right back here again. I mean, that does look really similar to me. I think what that gives us is, well, we need to break through 865 billion to keep this thing going. And RSI, what we were saying in the beginning, agrees. RSI is all the way up in the sky, but not matching the previous price. That can paint bearish divergence. This looks very similar to Bitcoin on the day right now. That's okay. So total market cap, I'm actually going to set an alert just above where it is because it actually just hit my alert earlier. Looking for a breakout. I mean, if you could retake 865, man, you're looking at $1 trillion market cap again. Right here, man. If we get $1 trillion market cap in this bear market, I think that's when people actually start feeling excitement. I think this will trigger the FOMO. When they see that trillion number back, I think the FOMO will come. Let's take a peek. All right. We have a ton of charts we can look at. If I pull up my alerts here, look at all these alerts over the last 24 hours. So we're going to have infinite charts to look at today. But let me pull up the chat. My bad for not reading it. I was in the spice zone. Let me see who's here. If you're here, put something in the chat. If you've gotten a membership gifted to you over the last few weeks by Mr. Bajarki, we got some new emojis. And we're actually, if you have ideas for new emojis, we have a lot, like a bunch of slots open. So let me know what you want to see, what kind of emojis you want. Put them in the chat. Put them in the chat, something. Exactly. Exactly, my friend. AAV breakout says trick shots. Oh, we got AAV pulled up. What's up, Maggie Games, my darling? Eat Perez. Oh no, Y2K. Shrink Tech. Mr. Johannes. Carry Chaos. Metabice. SSJ3. Andone. Pickle. My man Pickle. Ejeet. NBF. Pishta. Yo, Pishta. Been a while, brother. Hope you're doing well. Bean Juice. Mike Bennett. Up and Run. Crypto Surf. Crypto Steph. I can't even keep up now. Midnight Madness. Zigzag. Bitcoin. We can get a green Bitcoin with 2 joints. Ooh. If we get 420 likes, I'll be hitting that Bitcoin. Oh, with 2 joints. Remember, guys, buy high, sell low. Thank you for the great advice, Johannes. Appreciate it. Yes, Mr. T. Where's Mr. T? How are you guys feeling? In the vote, in the poll, with 500, 600 votes, we have 41% are road to 20K. I actually agree. 32% say heading to 19K, 27% saying reversing here. I will say I'm a little scared of how bullish we are. Little scared. Not mega scared, but a little scared. Only 27% betting down. I will say this. So I know I'm going to read the chat, but let me update the trade and let me update you guys on everything going on. Really quick, but I am going to read the chat, promise. So here is where the new year started. At the end, the last day of last year, I told you guys I sold all of the Bitcoin commissions I had made that year to harvest the loss. Harvest the loss, because most of that Bitcoin I got back up here when volumes were very high and the market was very spicy. And so they're at a pretty savage loss, right? They're down half or more. I sold them here to lock in those losses on my taxes so I wouldn't have to pay taxes on the original value at which I received them. Talk to a CPA about that. Don't just do that randomly. Anyway, so what I did, because I was thinking, man, I'm certainly not the only one doing this. Price is already down really low. I don't feel super comfortable. So I took what I sold and I did place a limit buy order at 13.8 for that amount. So if the low isn't in and we're going to go lower down to 13.8 or 10, I'll be able to rebuy those. I'll have more Bitcoin than I started with. However, I had a feeling, as we talked about on this channel live, month over month we said this. If this last quarter closes red, I expect the first quarter to be green. There's no macroeconomics or anything that would agree with that. That was just how I was viewing the market. Based on that, essentially, I did not feel super comfortable having that spot sold. So I opened a long of essentially equal, a little bit larger size, I think, to be net neutral on that tax loss harvest. So if Q1 is green, which it is so far, I don't end up having kind of FOMO feelings about buying back in high just to see the high end and then it fall again down to that number. So I basically neutralized the effect of selling that by opening an equal position in the other direction. I did that on Femex, actually. Good reminder, shout out to our sponsors. We're going to have some change up in the sponsors, unfortunately, I know. So at the moment, shout out to Market Cypher and Bybit. Links in the video description below. Sign up using my link. Help support the channel. Costs you nothing. You'll get some good new user deposit bonuses just by using my link. We don't sell anything here. That's how we stay neutral. So I have this long position open on Femex. It's looking not too bad. Not too bad, guys. It's currently up 81% from the start of this year. It's on 6x leverage. It's about $1,500 in profit. And man, don't I wish I doubled down. Don't I wish I had gone harder, right? Nothing going on there. I don't have a take profit set, although I might end up debating one in this stream. We are down $27 in funding fees, but we're up $1,500 in profit, so I'm not going to complain that much Actually, I should update you guys on, even though we're having some change up in the sponsors, I'll still pull this up. I also opened a second one, and this is a spicier trade now. I opened a second long. This one's smaller. I didn't have a lot of funds here. This is on the Bing X trade. So I was long, let's see, from 16.5, pretty much the same as the other trade. However, I did close. Let me see. I did close pieces of that long at the exact numbers I said I was going to. That's right. 17.3, 18K, and I even, so there's a mix up here, I even opened a small short at 18.4. Now, this is not ideal as it has run through, and I'm currently net short on this account. But I am looking to add to that short potentially at 19.4. I might actually change that to 21. What do you guys feel? What do you guys feel? So this account has taken that long. It's taken some profits. It's open short. We're still net up for the moment. We're still net up. Might make that 21. Might make that 21. Either way, we opened it all the way back here, and time is just chugging along and really rewarding that hedge play. This is a great kind of reminder or lesson. Hedge your bets. Hedge your bets. If you're not sure, hedge your bets. That's it. That's pretty much it. I think that's the whole thing, right? Longs in profit. The secondary smaller trade, slightly open short, but you can see it schlonged here. I actually don't think I meant to do that. I meant to close the long and open short, but whatever. Who cares? Time will probably be pretty favorable to this position. Things are looking awesome there. I'm liking it. It's helping me fight the FOMO. Let me do this. So if you haven't heard of this, really quick, crownanalysis.com. This is our new project launched this year. Go check it out. Bookmark it. crownanalysis.com. Go over to blog and you will find a wide range of articles, even one written by me. I'll be writing more. But this is our new project, really looking to open up the scope of this channel. We're looking to talk about other markets, not just crypto, but also crypto. All kinds of perspectives from technical to kind of personal experience, whatever, can be business, finance, economics. If you want to write about any of those topics, join us. Jump in the Discord, send me a message after the live stream, and we'll chat. We're looking for writers. We've had a bunch of people step up, and I love it, and it's awesome. Really digging the vibe. The community seems to have a lot of energy behind it. I have really big plans for this, so I hope you guys join me on this journey. crownanalysis.com. All right. .com. Cool. So that is the trade. So far, 2023. Right here. Only up. Only up. I'll take it. Oop, wrong one. Let's see how far we are on the year. So 15%. Probably not enough to get excited about, but we're up 15% in the year, and so far, really, we're just seeing what could be parabola. Something like this. Our pullbacks and our moves up are starting to become more inclined. Parabolas typically can look like this when you use trend lines, and those are essentially just trend lines that continue to spread out, and your curve or your gradient gets higher and higher. However, these are something to be a little weary of. Parabolic climbs usually end in parabolic dumps. Let's check back in on the 5-minute here. Ooh, that low. That low's nasty, but it's retaken to the higher high and the higher high. I'm liking it. I'm not thinking this rally is over. We called earlier in the episode that we would see more upside during the episode, and it did happen. It did happen. We got this little wick to 19. So far, no significant rejection from 19. Man, I'm coughing. No significant rejection from 19, and in fact, really low volumes. Kind of really low volumes on that push up. We're only seeing these high volumes essentially on these kind of flagpole moves. I'm liking this high volume node on the wick down, showing the market was absorbing these orders, stopping out new long positions, baiting in shorts. This is looking great. It's definitely not clean like the other flags we've seen, which were incredibly clean. Like, this is not a flag. This is definitely not a flag. I'm not even sure how to even do this. I don't think that this will fit. Maybe we'll see this paint as like a flat top, potentially. Let's see something like that. Cool. We got 700 viewers now on YouTube. Shout out to all 700 of you enjoying this spicy, spicy day. I'm enjoying it. No camera, no spice. I know, the camera was working and then it froze. I could try again. To see if I can get this to work. But this is the last time I'm going to try. I don't know why it does this. I don't understand. It shouldn't do this. There's some kind of conflict. I need to find an video guy who really knows his stuff, because there's something going on. Some other part of the computer, the way this is kind of daisy chained, is like trying to use the mic or use the camera when the streaming software should be using the camera. Let me see. All right, I powered it down, I unplugged it, I replugged it. Nope. We're just shit out of luck today. Shit out of luck today. That sucks. Sorry, guys. You're just going to have to deal with me being tiny and very small in the corner. Let's reposition this. Okay, cool. You know I'm here. You know. I don't like it without the camera, but I will. Probably opening too many tabs. I mean, if too many tabs can cause that, then yes, that is the problem. I got way too many tabs. Way too many. Let's run through some charts we've looked at over the last week. Flare airdrop after trading down 85%, now down. It has recovered a little bit, down 70% at 4 cents. If you didn't catch my rant about airdrops, you should check it out on the previous live stream. Everything's time stamped. Be careful. Be careful. This was 2 years waiting. Airdrops are pretty known for dumping. XRPzels having a pretty dandy day. XRP up from 33.9 support. Our trade did get stopped out, unfortunately, but it was in the right direction, as now price has made a higher high versus December. It's closed a daily above 36.8 cents. I don't really love that doji going on. However, price holding above 36.8 sets us up for 41.7, and that is not too shabby. Not too shabby. I mean, I'm not going to take this trade. I don't like this trade. But if someone was really impatient and wanted to make a play here and they're bullish on XRP, that's probably how I would look to play it. Something like this from that 36.8, targeting that 41.7. You can see we got stopped before, so don't think this is a free money machine or anything. We're going to go through a lot of charts, and I'm going to get rid of these tabs. Ziquilla or Zil, acting very, very nice. After making a perfect measured move, just above support, which is a little scary, to 15.1, we saw it. Move to 24.8. I tweeted about this. Zil, is it going to run to the 24.8 resistance? It did. It's this isn't really a rejection yet. We do see some top wicks, and that's some indicators of profit taking at that 24.8 level, but it hasn't really retraced. That's a pretty strong sign. If I was looking to jump into this position, I likely would be looking at 19.3 or 20 cents. However, it may not get there. You may not see that retracement. When we get these big moves to the upside, sometimes you skip kind of these back tests. I could see a play like this happening, or maybe even against the grain. Against the grain, maybe even a short position is the right move here at that 24.8. Looking to target that support. I don't know. But the way the market is right now, I would kind of expect this, to be honest. Market's trending up. It's hard to bet against the trend, but that's the only way I would probably look at Zil. Yeah, that does not look awesome on the daily. Oh well. Let's pull up Cardano ADA. So we were using that similar ideology here. We're using the go short at previous support, looking for resistance there. Play. ADA finally retook 33 cents just days ago. We set up this short play and it is now consolidating above 31. Sorry, 31.1. Our trade almost stopped out, not quite. And now it's kind of just bouncing on that 31 as support. This is a little threatening to this short position or the short theoretical trade here. You have two pretty solid back tests on the 4 hour. It's like a double bottom. Man, ADA, you were looking like garbage. I'll say, man, ADA looks like garbage because it's not, it didn't go back to a support. It's kind of just bouncing here at 24 cents. We need to see it move to 31.1 before we're really going to believe this rally. That was the major support on the last fall. You can see above we have more issues. If 31.1 holds, 34.6. Boom. Next resistance. That was a macro support. ADA chilled there for so long before falling lower. It did backtest it, so that's why I'm not really sure. Not really positive if it's going to make it there. It might just continue in this wedge. But the market is trending up, so I think this is the bet for now. What I like about ADA is it is closer to a potential entry than, say, what we just looked at, Zil. Zil, you're going to have to wait. This is pretty close. I could see definitely a trade being made, maybe like this, using your left, looking left to this consolidation. This is probably like a stop loss. Looking to go long at 31, targeting 41. That could be a pretty slick play. I'm not going to take this one either. This is not really my style of trading. But I think that I think you smart people out there can use your brains and you can come up with a pretty slick formula for ADA. A trade to take. Maybe you just go to the weekly quick on ADA. Yeah, nice little bullish engulf right back here. Okay. Not too much spice there on the week. But ADA finally looking good. It's a miracle. It's a miracle. I know a lot of you out there are ADA fans. I have ADA. It's just not my favorite thing ever. AVAX. Some of you were talking about AVAX in the chat. I know there was some news about AVAX. However, I found this out after the fact. We were looking at AVAX, 12 bucks. We were looking at this for support. We did see on the daily time frame kind of a rejection from there. An inverse head and shoulders and a move back up. Our stop untouched. The trade currently in profit on that long. I mean, I'm still looking for 17. Let me see where 17 is from. Is it from the month? Yes. Yes. Essentially a double bottom on the monthly at just under $17 right here. Boom. Candle closes 17 bucks. You fell, you lost it. Now you're moving back up. $17. I mean, that seems very, very likely. And I know that's easy to say now, but when we placed this, that wasn't the case. When we placed this, we had no idea if we were going to get stopped out. For some reason, I was targeting higher. I guess back to this high. 21. Really, I don't know. I think that might be... It's possible. It's definitely possible. But I think 17 is the smart profit taking, especially on like leverage or something. Whew, look at this. A little recap on one of our previous lessons here. Swing failure. Thank you for whoever helped me in the chat. We were talking about a concept called swing failure. And what that is either RSI moves to overbought or oversold. Doesn't matter. You can have them in either direction. In this case, it was oversold. Oversold, bounced RSI, let's say, reached the 50 line, and then it moved back down towards oversold. However, this time, it did not enter the oversold status, and that is swing rejection. This is a very strong reversal sign. Very strong reversal sign. You can see RSI really bounced up, made a higher low, and just went nuts there. This swing failure is a strong reversal sign. However, we also had the helping hand of a lower low in price, but a higher low on RSI. So we also had bullish divergence, kind of acting as confluence to that swing failure. Let's do bullish div. And that was a pretty prime snipe. That's a chart snipe, man. That's sweet. It definitely took some balls as it traded down to 1057, but that's a hell of a candle. I'd be very, very surprised if it doesn't reach $17. Looks like it, for the day at least, is topped out at $16.50. But we'll check back on it. AVAX looking strong. I don't know if it has anything to do with the news. We were looking for this trade long before that news existed. Something about Amazon, I don't know. I'm not saying that it isn't true. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be excited. As I said, guys, let yourself enjoy. Let yourself enjoy this time. We've had enough pain. Just don't get caught up in it. I don't know if, with this, but in general, in crypto, I have learned this lesson way too many times. The partnerships thing, just don't let them influence your thoughts. If it's real, great. That's a great thing, right? If this AVAX partnership is really with Amazon or whatever, and it's real awesome, that's going to be great for its future. However, for every one time that's reality, there's 999 times where Quinn's like, we partner with Walmart, we partner with Google, we partnered with Joe Biden. Like, I don't care. Show me the chart. Go up. Like, I honestly would never invest personally based on news in crypto, because news in crypto is so unreliable and so full of BS. Just food for thought. AVX is looking good though. Just a little mini rant here. Let's check in on our BitDAO short. If you're in the Discord, I highly recommend you be in the Discord. I update these charts and trades in the Discord somewhat regularly. You get a little bit more info than just the streams. I updated you guys like yesterday or the day before, and I said, man, with this downside wick, that's showing a lot of buying pressure. If I took this trade, which I did not, if I did, I'd probably close it. This downside wick is enough to kind of scare me out. It's enough to scare me out. Also, the location of the wick is what's telling for me. It is the definitive top of this channel. If we zoom in, we see a little gap there. See a little gap. But that gap is the difference between 37.1 cents and 36.8 cents. Like, it is a margin of error. I would probably close it. It doesn't necessarily mean I'm looking to go long. Like, I mean, you could, in theory, try to play this. I don't think that that's a very advantaged trade, though. I would not take this one personally. You could look to do it in the other direction. I'm not necessarily bullish. I'm just saying I think this short, with the way we've seen it react with the top of this trend and this wick, I'd probably not be in it. And, I mean, your stop isn't too high above anyway, so not a huge deal. BitDAO looking fancy. Let's pull up GALA. GALA. We're just gunning through these today. GALA's had a hell of a trip, hasn't it? This has a hell of a trip. I put in the Discord. I actually bought 5,000 GALA. Literally, it's like the SHIB. If you guys have been here since 21, I bought $100 worth of SHIB October 1st of 21, and literally it was the same thing. Like, I bought it and then it did this. Both times it was just random. It wasn't skill. It just got lucky. So, nah, not saying I'm psychic. Anyway, I bought like 5,000 GALA, like 16 cents before this. It's pretty wild. We've seen GALA move up to our resistance at 47. We were looking to go short. Now, I might make that same conclusion here I made for BitDAO. You see this little back test. We haven't broken that low. I don't like these top wicks, but I mean, this kind of looks like a horn top. It is a little different than BitDAO. However, you did see this pullback. I would say you are in profit. You are in profit. If I were to do this trade, I also didn't do this one, but if I were to have taken this, I probably would move my stop into profit now. This little back test and pull, like, not really convinced by these candles, and the market's trending up. Like, I might look to get out of it. You still might get lucky. You still might get 2.5 cents, and we were looking to go long there. However, if we are in kind of a dead cat bounce, I do expect a lot of supports to go untested, unbacktested, as that's pretty characteristic. GALA, same as ADA here, had this super long, flat triangle. We were looking for it to break to the downside. It did. It has moved all the way back, and it has tested it as resistance. That's why we logically look to go short there instead of long. If this breaks, I'm probably thinking that we're going to see a lot of coins go nuts. Like, ADA would have to go all the way back up here to get to that same level. But I'd probably look for it to go nuts. I think this, I'm going to leave it as it is. If you were in this trade, I'd probably move my, not financial advice. If I were in this trade, I would look to probably move my stop into profit. These shorts are getting a little riskier as things are getting spicy. Let's keep moving. LIDO. We looked at LIDO last stream. We saw this crazy move. I even put question marks up here. Moved up to $2.64. We saw this live, which is funny because we were literally talking about, I see these here, saying, well, we have this slanting formation. We have this flat formation. Now we have this uptrending formation. So usually for me, that is a blow off top. It doesn't have to be. But I was saying this before it rallied and it just went boom. Pretty wild. We did have a short on this one. Don't want to hide the losses from you guys, the losers. Did it get removed? It might have been deleted. Oh well. I don't know why it got deleted, but it was essentially from $1.63. That was resistance. You can see it blew right through it, and it was a great lesson in stop losses. Short is the advantage trade at resistance, yes. But that doesn't mean you should enter a trade without a stop loss, because if you had entered on, let's see, any kind of leverage, it went up 65% above that resistance. If you had entered on any leverage above like 1.5x, you would have gotten liquidated. Wrecked. Stop losses are important. They are important. This is interesting. I don't really know what to make of this setup. It's janky at best. Like, what is this? I was really liking this scooping, kind of this rounding bottom off of this. I was looking for a retest of 264. It's kind of lost its vibe here. Kind of lost its like stiffness. It's no, it's edge. It kind of looks like a little looser price action. Ding dong. Ding dong. Someday I'll figure out what that means. Someday. Ding dong. Now we have kind of a broadening wedge. I'll take it. This can be bullish. So I think that the advantage play would be from 163. If we see that, that would be nice. However, I think this broadening pattern, eventually, you see that. This could be what happens. I actually like this. I don't know. I actually like that. It looks really smooth. On the daily, that trend's there too. I'll take it. A little weakness on market side for BNM momentum. The problem, again, I think I was saying this while we were live watching this, is when you get these rallies like this, I was saying this about Bitcoin too, you blast your indicators off into space. So we were looking at bearish divergence potential here before. Let's see if that's still in place. We have a higher RSI, so we're going to need to see a higher high in price versus back here. Do we? Yes. So actually, even though we should be kind of weary of bearish divergence on our highs here, we don't have it. This is what a coin wants. This is what we want to see on these rallies. Hopefully Bitcoin and others will take a hint here. Is you get this explosive rally, your indicators move up, but you have to break highs, and you did here. So LIDO's looking pretty good. I don't own any LIDO. I don't really even know what it is. Staked liquid ether, something. I don't really get it. But there's some spicy trades to be made, man. Like the advantage trade of a long at support or potentially short at resistance. Right now, at $2, you're right in the middle of the range. I think this is the trap time. I think entering a position hastily right now on LIDO, this is where you get trapped. Right in the middle of the range. One last thing before we move on. Here's a cool pattern. Let's see if it plays out today. This is a rare pattern in crypto. Super rare, man. It's rare. Rare. Provided LIDO closes above $2 today, and you can see it's at $2.02, so this is still up in the air. You have 3 rising methods. That is a large-bodied candle, followed by 3 inside small-bodied candles of the opposite color, then completing with a bullish engulf candle that breaks and closes higher than the initial candle body. So we have this at the moment. 5 hours to go. If it closes above its $1.97, that's pretty rare, but a very clear-cut bullish signal for this chart. Pretty cool. Cool, man. I'm just a chart nerd. Just love my charts. Love my patterns. Bring it to the front. Man, I'm really sad my camera's not working today because I feel I finally have hype. It has been, I know it's been brutal for you guys to be in the crypto space and invest, especially the new people, I'll tell you what, man, being a streamer in this space in the last year was a brutal test of my will and determination. But we made it. Even if we're going to go back lower, even if we're going down to 10K or something this year, we're still going to be here. But I'm sure as hell enjoying a little bit of green while it's around. Hell yeah. AAVE. Maybe this was it AVAX or AAVE that had the news? Either way, AAVE coming in hot. Last time we looked at this, we saw it move up, test the 20 daily, hit the 50 daily, close above, and we said, well, if we close above, we're likely looking to test the next resistance. If we reject, we're likely moving back to that 20, which at the time would have been a daily local support as well. And if things were really bad, maybe back to 50. We have taken the close above 50 route, and we have moved directly to resistance in today's candle. Hella spicy. Retaking the 100 daily moving average, we can see above the 200 daily moving average, chilling right about at the next resistance. We have 74.28 mapped out. However, even though it's not a horizontal, I'm going to move this up. I'm actually going to call this 75. I'm just going to call it even 75. This would be our next logical upside target. If we close above the 100 today, this is what I would like to see. Maybe it will take a little longer. That's what I'd like to see. This would be a beautiful, actually, kind of Wyckoff pattern here. We have our low. This would technically be a lower low on the Wyckoff pattern, but either way, you have your like spring, and this could be the SOS, the flagging out above previous resistance. This is actually really clear cut here. Really clear cut. I'm going to make a trade setup I don't usually make. I don't usually set them up this way because we're kind of chasing price up. This is a dangerous one. This is a danger one. Looking to take along potentially from 67.26 up to that $75 target. Now, you are kind of in this uptrend. You're already up significant percents. Market ordering in, not ideal. And as I said, this isn't a trade I normally post because I like to post trades that keep you guys low risk. This is higher risk. I would not take it again. But this is a potential setup. You're kind of moving with this. I think typically we would do it this way. We're going to take right here. Typically we do it this way. There's no really clear stop placement to the left. Maybe like that. Typically we look for it like this in reverse. We've moved up. We're at resistance. Short is the advantage play. Probably look to take that back to the 50. That's where you consolidated. That'd be a great trade too. I think that's the smarter trade, but something about this long here is juicy. Something about it. I'll take it. All right. We're just going to rip through everything. We're going to rip through all the charts today. Sorry, Pickle. Our timestamp master of the stamps. Let's pull up the next chart. Loopring, we're not going to spend time on this, but we'll look at it quick. Just to update, Loopring did take 21 cents. Kind of drifting off here into this next high looking left. You got resistance here, 25 cents. That's probably not a bad target. 25 cents. This chart's not very up to date. Yep, I'll take it. 25.4 cents. There we go. Yep, there we go. 25.2. Oh, yeah. Loopring, I'm going to look for a move to 25.2 here in this month. I think it will move up to kind of challenge this bullish engulf on the monthly. It may sell off there. It may close higher with the bullish engulf, and then we're definitely going to be looking for kind of these upside targets in 31 to 36. But this is a nice little monthly support level that has not been tested as resistance. We've fallen. Classic and classic play. Classico trade. Classico. I do like this. I do like the shape of this, though. I like this V. I would really like to see it actually get back to that 25 cents and close. If you can, then you can start painting a really interesting inverse head and shoulders pattern that you're going to be targeting your higher highs there. I like that. Solana, super quick. Nothing has happened. It's still at the same price. I'm still looking for 1972. It's interesting. It's not really jumping on the gain boat. It's weird. It hasn't been moving with the rest of the market. I don't know why. I don't like Solana. I won't touch it. But you guys, as always, do as you do. Ignore me. Ethereum, here's a crazy chart I whipped up on Ethereum. This is Ethereum BTC, and it's basically all the major trend lines that are in play. I'm not gonna drone you on this. Maybe I'll send it in the Discord after the stream. But I'm digging Ethereum pushing that ETH-BTC pair higher highs, targeting that 0.8 level. I never changed my opinion on this. I'm not the biggest Ethereum fan. I have a bunch of it. But when we topped out here, basically we're looking for a head and shoulders pattern that brought us down, paint into an inverse head and shoulders pattern. Hasn't been invalidated as our lows are being respected. I've been of the same opinion. I think ETH-BTC trades to 0.1 or 0.11. I don't know when. I don't know if it'll be in the bull or bear market or what, but it's still lined up for this. I don't see it passing that, but of course I don't know for sure. No one has the answer. Up at about 0.15 would be the flippening. I don't really think that's going to happen. So maybe that's why. Maybe I'm biased. But ETH-BTC is looking super good. Super good here, showing strength. It's a great time to do it. Great time to flex your muscles as a coin. Let me pull up the USD pair, see if we broke. Hell yeah! Hell yeah! 1,420. Let's go. Let's go. That's what we said. We were back here saying, Tom, what's going to happen? And I was like, man, nothing's happening until we break 1167 or 1,000. What was it? 1,200? 1,220? Either way, we're looking for resistance at 1,300. We blasted through our next target. 1,420, blaze it. Speaking of which, smash the likes. Make sure we get 420 likes. Make sure we get our blaze license today because we're going to be celebrating. However, here is my caution. This then shows us that we're still in this gosh darn same symmetrical triangle. Like, we aren't out of it yet. It's wild. It's wild that it has moved from 1,000. It's moved up 40%, over 40%. And it's still in this freaking symmetrical triangle. You can call that a bear flag. You can call it a symmetrical triangle, whatever you'd like. I would really like to see Ethereum close above 1,420, blaze it. That is what I'd like to see. Right here. So not only is it a historical horizontal, it's right there at our 618, our golden retrace. It's right where we would expect price to go back to after falling. Man, this is spicy. The only trade I could take on this would definitely be a short. I know, I hate it. I hate shorting. I'm so ready to be done shorting. This is the only thing I could really play. I'm not going to take this one. I don't like the odds here. But you're looking to maybe short it back into the triangle, maybe back down to 1,300. We can see that didn't really get back tested as support. Just got blasted through as resistance. That'd be a decent target. For me, honestly, Ethereum's just no trade. I would feel way more comfortable if I was looking for a short-term position back down at 1,300. Maybe you see like a fake break and you can continue up, something like that. But Ethereum definitely making moves. I just am skeptical of this triangle. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Let's look at QNT quick. We did get stopped out a long time ago. I'm going to make this smaller because that happened quickly. Stopped out a while ago. Kind of looking for the bearish side in the past. QNT hasn't really made moves here. It's interesting. Its price action is much more muted than we've seen. However, it also is very high off of its June low. This is what's spicy. This is what's spicy. It also makes it a much kind of riskier trade. It's up 200% off of its June low. So you're buying 200% up off a low if you're entering here. I don't like that thought. I don't like that thought. That's very risk on. I'm not very risk on like that. Let me see. Kind of have a symmetrical triangle there as well. I think you really have to see 133 break to get excited. And once 133 breaks, I mean, you're looking for 150, 175, maybe 300. Maybe we'll get that high. USD pair, not super spicy. The BTC pair is what I'm liking here. BTC pair is what's up. You got a back test of your trend. You have a higher high. You're looking back to support. Okay. I could blast off something like this. Oh, boom. 3.4 risk to reward. I'd take that. You have your higher high. You're just looking for a higher low. This stop could actually be much tighter because of that. It could be much tighter because of that. I don't like 6 to 1, so I'm going to keep it down here. Even technically bring it to a 3. That's my sweet spot. Targeting 0076. I mean, this looks really good. You can see its strength from that June low. It moved 600% up versus Bitcoin from that June low. That's crazy. That's crazy. It makes me wish I had been paying attention to QNT a long time ago. Unfortunately, I was not. I was not. LTC, we'll look at LiteCoin next. Of course, Mark. Of course. Mana, really quick. Mana hit its measured move at 40 cents. Took our swing high to our swing low. Boom. 40.5 cents. Interacting here with 41.8. That's a historical resistance there. Man, it's too hard to look for a long. Like, it's so hard to look for a long right now. And that's what's kind of getting me excited. When long entries kind of disappear, has been historically when the bottom has been in my crypto experience. Can't say that like confirms it right now, but that's a characteristic of what I remember. Could definitely see this playing out. Maybe you go as low as 35. That would create a very beautiful neckline at 41.8. That'd be great. Maybe you don't. Maybe only make it down to this 38. Get a little slightly higher low. What does our fib look like here? The fib is saying you could go as low as here, so that actually would line up with our short really well. I don't know if that's what I'm looking for though. You just can't look. That's the thing. Now the longs are all of a sudden really hard to enter. You just can't look to rip off a long here at 40 cents. You're right at the top. You could have so much potential downside. Like when longs become hard is when giggity. When I'm looking for the market to make some bullish moves. All right, I'll pull up LiteCoin. Can I link the Discord? It's discord.gg/TomCrown. Is it not in the video description? I might have taken it out accidentally. Let me fib it out. My buttons aren't working. You know, I will say, streamers who stream without camera, I kind of get it now. This is the second time ever our camera has failed in the middle of a stream. I kind of get it. I'd just be sitting here picking my nose, scratching my butt. You guys don't know. A lot less pressure. Discord link should be in the chat. Discord.gg/TomCrown. Join on in. Again, really quick, join on in there if you're interested in writing for crownanalysis.com. Check it out. This is our new project. If you're interested in writing articles, we want to hear from you. Join the Discord. Send me a message. We'll get you hooked up. LiteCoin, my baby. This is going to be, guys, when I say this, please don't think this is like, oh my God, you have to buy now. Because that's not how this works. In my crypto history, I've made some big gains on a bunch of different coins. Every single one that I have been mocked for has been the largest gainer. So last year, Doge, I got mocked. I got laughed at for years for owning any amount of Doge, period. I didn't even have a lot. I had like $150 or something. And people would make fun of me. People would say, you're not a good trader. You own Doge. Like, seriously, mocked. Everyone ate their words last year. Mark my words. LiteCoin, this will be what happens with LiteCoin. I don't know if that's this year, next year, 5 years from now. I don't know. Mark my words. I'm going to have the exact same experience. People are going to like be FOMOing in and I'm going to be selling into them. This is the last coin in my portfolio that I have a significant holding of that hasn't like hit, if that makes sense. And LiteCoin's my number 2 in my portfolio. It hasn't hit yet. It's coming. It's looking good now, but I don't want to get you guys excited and FOMO. You know, we're not at a great place to buy. I mean, honestly, we had a great place to buy at $50. I was saying that on our streams. Now we're up at 85. You can see this little descending high trend from April, interacting very tightly with price here on today's high, right at $88. Let's go. $88. I love it. If we break 88, my next upside target, I think, comes pretty quickly. Where are you? I'll have to go back and... is this sad? I've been watching LiteCoin so desperately for so long that, like, I know the numbers. I know the levels by heart. If 90 or 89, today's high breaks, I'm looking for 121. Of course, you have a psychological level at 100. You can always see price kind of chill out there. You can see profit taking, kind of muted price action for a while before it makes up its mind. But this is a psychological level. I guess it did act as support back here. But it isn't the most important number. I'll put that on the chart too, though. But I'm looking for 121 on a break. That'll be juicy. Something we should probably go over a little bit here is the doodles here. So someone pointed this out and I investigated it and I was kind of blown away. So what we see here is a pretty interesting potential bottom pattern. We saw this chaotic sell-off, and that chaotic sell-off was followed by a very specific price action. So it didn't like rally insanely, didn't capitulate. But what it did is it made this upsloping kind of rounded flat top right here. It made this, and that on its own is nothing. It's irrelevant. But just follow me. It made this rounded flat top. It did not break its lows. It respected its lows on the way up. When it got interesting was here. It moved up to 78 and did this really familiar pattern. I couldn't put my finger on it, but someone pointed it out in chat, and it was amazing. This is like a Bart Simpson pattern, but something about it, I was like, man, this looks really familiar. With this Bart Simpson pattern drop, sell off to a higher low, and we set nothing but higher lows after that. And that's what we were looking for. Now that it's happened, it's like, duh, but this hadn't happened yet. What we said is, LiteCoin looks very strong. It looks like a very good spot to accumulate with the caveat of respecting its lows. So originally it was down here at $60, then it was at 65, then it was at 72, etc. It did respect its lows. And so why is that important? I mean, cool, it's going up. Yeah, it didn't go down. Great. You're right. But it reminds me, let me find my chart. It looks way too much like a very familiar time. Ooh, look at this little flat top. Let's go. Let's take it. It reminded me of something, and someone pointed out the date, and I was like, you are absolutely correct. So right here, let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of that. There it is. Real fast to recap. Right here, you have this fall. You have this violent, chaotic fall. And then you get this weird kind of flat rounding. Now, it's a little bit different. We have to squish the chart down to make it look like LiteCoin. Get this flat. It's not like a V-shaped recovery. It's not even something that really looks bullish. Like, it's just kind of muted. The next part is when it starts getting... This is what you pay attention to. The next part is when it gets interesting. So from this flat rounded top, you have this move up, and you have this kind of Bart Simpson that brings you down to a higher low. This is when it started to get spicy. As long as our lows were respected, we were looking to basically repeat the price action from March 2020 to September 2020. And what happened after that is probably the premiumest of premium hopium. So there it is. You break your high, higher low, you respect your lows, and you make this crazy move to the upside. Is that what's going to happen with LiteCoin? I mean, I freaking hope so. Certainly there's no guarantee. I hope so. But these patterns look so similar. You have to close some of these charts so I can find it. They look so similar to me. And the fact that the lows have been respected, now we're seeing a break from the high, I'm pretty excited. If you guys were around for the previous bear market, you would remember in 2018, 2019, 18, 19, I forget. The previous bear market, LiteCoin kind of rallied on its own into its own halving. We may well be seeing that again. Doesn't mean only up, but it's something to pay attention to. I am paying attention. You don't have to. I will. But if you want to hear about it, ask me about LiteCoin. I'll show it. I always do. Every stream, pretty much, when asked. Let's move to Doge, because I know people are looking at Doge, and probably with reason. We had a nice little short, or a nice little long trade on Doge from 0.68 to 0.78. Boom, money in the bank. Let's see where it's gone since. All right, I'll dig it. I'll take it. You broke your high trend. You rejected back into it. You rejected off resistance again. You broke a higher high. You touched that back trend perfectly. Now you're here. I'm liking it. This is looking like a potential bump and run. This is looking like a bump and run. I think you could play it like this. I don't really like this trade either. I don't like chasing things up. Let's see where this would go to. It's about as much as it can get for right now. Maybe 0.8, kind of back here on this previous wick in December. I could look for a long. I think short is always the advantage trade at resistance. But you did backtest your descending trend line. I'm looking for a bump and run scenario, and that's essentially what we have here. You broke this trend, you came back. All we have to do is break the high. So we need to see Doge trade above like 8.1 cents, and then I think that this is ready to go. Ready to go there, buddy. Ready. Ready. Man, that's pretty clear. Honestly, so that might be a little too conservative for profit taking. Might even be able to get up to like 10 cents. That would be a decent run. It's already pulled back there. See it. I think Doge is looking pretty dang good. Let's look in on Doge BTC quick. Still in your falling wedge. Still below resistance. Not bad. Not bad. But BTC is not running. That might have some downside. That's okay. Not the end of the world. Not the end of the world. Moving on. Let's look at CRV really quick here. CRV, trade is in. Whenever we place these longs, man, we hit so many. Boom. Oh wait, no, is that still open? There's more than one here. Oh, there's two. Okay. So we had like a more conservative and more aggressive trade from 51. Boom. 51 to 68 cents. That's money in the bank. Good trade. Good trade. Looking at your descending high trend, which is kind of the theme of all of this. You know, maybe ours isn't placed correctly. This might not be placed correctly. This might not be placed at all. Let's include this high. There we go. Including the most recent high, you're still below the high trend. That's not great. This is what we'd like to see price action-wise. That's what I'd like to see. Break the trend, back test. That's probably going to be around 67 cents. You are up here at our profit-taking target. You're right up here at resistance. I mean, short's probably the advantage trade again, but it's just so ugly to play shorts when things are getting spicy. Just got to do what you got to do. Something like that. 630 viewers. We haven't seen Bitcoin move again, but it's a spicy day. Kind of just going through these charts. Going through our charts, we've kind of knocked out a bunch. Here's cool, though. Curve. Bullish engulfed on the monthly right here. 67 cents. Those are previous support. But close above 67 cents on the monthly is looking very strong. You do have an order block here that I missed on the monthly. 62 cents. I'd like to see a closed bullish engulfed, obviously. But really, you can find support from 62 to 64. This chart's weird. Just a little shoe. It's a little shoe. Powered through a bunch of charts. I like it. You know what we'll do? We'll flip it back to Bitcoin, and then I'm going to pick back up the torch that I started right before I got through all these charts. So where's this? Yeah. Zooming back in on Bitcoin here, and I'm pulling up the chat for real. Sorry, I got distracted. Bajarki, did I see the Bajarki signal? I don't know. I haven't gotten any alerts about anything. My thing has not been, it has not been like telling me when we get alerts. So if Bajarki's here, shout out to Bajarki. If you're here and you got a membership from Bajarki, let's do it. Put some of those emojis in the chat. Putting emojis in the chat is the best engagement, my friends. The best engagement. Rico, dropping some OG knowledge. Love Rico. Been here for years. Rico's one of the few people I know who have been in Bitcoin longer than I have. Rico says if you're new to crypto, start off learning about Bitcoin and most importantly, why it even was invented. 100% agree. 100% agree. If you view Bitcoin as like a get rich quick scheme, I'll make you this promise. It will take your money. It will take your money. It's not going to let you leave with your money. If you believe in Bitcoin, and I'm not saying you have to, but if you believe in Bitcoin, that's really the only people I've ever seen be successful long-term in crypto. People that absolutely believe in it. They see the need that it fills. They see the problems that it's looking to solve. And they see its resilience, its strength. Nothing to do with price. This is to do with function. Those people are the people I know who have succeeded. I do not know people. I really don't know many people who joined for Lambos and got Lambos. Those people walked away with no money. It's good advice. Barefoot Fletch, it's the bat signal. It's not about what we think. What matters is what did you trade? Did you realize it? Deep words from Alexander Medeiros. What's up, Sebi98? Putting those emojis in. Love it. Crunk C, how you doing, man? Zakir, Robert, SSJ3, good to see you again. KV Hups is a bear. What's your bear target, KV Hups? Everybody was a bear. It's a new year, though. We'll see. Always explicit. What's up, man? Stephen Conaway. Isn't that a famous person's name? AI has a much stronger adoption curve than crypto. That's fine. When you truly are in the state of crypto zen, hey, Around the Blockchain shout is in the TikTok stream. What's up, Around the Blockchain? Around the Blockchain hype. When you're really in, what was I saying? When you're really in the crypto mindset, like when you've reached the zen, you understand that it doesn't, Bitcoin's whole thing is it doesn't matter what other people or other things are doing. AI has a stronger adoption curve than crypto. Who cares? Another coin, I don't know, it does more transactions per second. Who cares? It's more efficient. Who cares? Bitcoin does not care. That's its strength. It's not only because it's obviously not a conscious decision. It's not conscious. It's the way it was built. It was built that outside forces just don't impact it. It's not impacted by them. If AI has a stronger adoption curve, cool. Doesn't matter. Bitcoin, like, it is strong because it stands on its own. That's what it is. Bitcoin Zen, Angela NGO. Dude, the Bitcoin Zen has been our theme. We kind of moved away from it a little bit on the channel, but that has been our theme. Don't copy my title for a book because I made this up and I've been talking about it. But my first book will be called Tom Crown's Bitcoin and the Art of Zen. The longer you have been in crypto, the longer you've been in Bitcoin, the more towards this weird Zen mindset. I swear. When I meet someone who's been in crypto as long as I have, I know instantly because they have whatever that is, this like Zen mindset of Bitcoin. I don't know, like you adopt it into your own life. You don't need to defend things. You don't need to attack things. Bitcoin is the ultimate neutral. It just thrives on its own. Independent, like it doesn't care what else is going on. It just thrives on its own, and it literally cannot be killed. The only thing that could end Bitcoin would be globe-ending events, like if the world exploded. Sure, all right, fair. But at that point, we're all dead anyway. Yeah, it's wild, man. It's wild. Polkdot, Fixie. All right, I'll pull up Polkdot because I actually did get an alert for Polkdot. We did a lot of charts. I'll pull up Polkdot. I want to keep reading the chat. Like cash or gold in the safe. Love it. Ooh. I would have said to go short on. I would have looked for a short on DOT at 5. Looks like DOT retaking. So this is that same structure that we've been seeing on many coins like ADA. What is it? The GALA? I don't know. Other ones we looked at. You have a macro. Looking left, macro. Horizontal at 5. You tested it. You broke it. You didn't quite reach 420, but you hit 420, but you didn't quite reach 418. I think that's close enough. We were looking for a move back to $5. I did not expect it to overshoot. So this is where it gets spicy. I think DOT really needs to move to $6. You have your RSI extremely high where we are. A move to $6 could eliminate some of that potential bearish divergence on the daily that's painting, but not confirmed because you're still moving up. Nice little bullish engulf on the week. You're right back to weekly resistance, 530. You're not out of the woods yet, but you're looking pretty damn good. And that's just in time, because if DOT does move back down to that 420-ish level, you lose all your support. You lose all your support. There's nothing below $3. Good luck. I don't know what happens under $3. But you go into some nasty price discovery. If I was in a leverage position with DOT, I would definitely look to stop it below, right below support, 418. Because you don't have anything holding it up underneath that. These lo-fi beats are like they're lo-fi-ing. For a bullish engulf, we've seen this across the space. 546. Came so close to that support. This would be a really sneaky place for a DOT to a bottom, though. Not gonna lie. Just like a sense above macro support. I'd take it. Let's put an alert here. I'm going to take an alert. I'm going to be looking for DOT to trade above 547 this month. That'll give us a bullish engulfed monthly, and that'll be a pretty dang bullish sign. The next resistance, I'll say, if you can take that monthly engulf, is like 620, 630. So I think a smart trader could either look to take a short at that monthly engulf level, probably playing it back to that 430-ish level. If a smart trader found a nice little entry for a long, preferably once the engulf had hit, I'd be looking for 630. That's pretty much all I have on DOT right now. Pretty much. Here we go. So we didn't have much of a pattern here. But I'm thinking we're seeing this flat top ascending lows now. Let's look at our indicators really fast. I want to keep reading the chat. Yes! 5 minutes coming out of the pits of hell, fighting back with some bullish action. Same with the 15. These were looking good when we started. Looking good on the 30. Have a higher high here. You still have quite some distance to go, but I'll take it. We were looking for this at the beginning of the stream. I think that's still in play. When we move into the 45, it becomes a little more smoothed. Into the hour. So close. So close. Break those highs. The hour looking juicy, man. Not quite there. Need to see these money flow highs broken. You do have a higher low here, so I need to see this move up. If the hourly breaks that money flow high, sights are set at 21K. 21K. Easy peas. I'm liking this low time frame setup here. You're above resistance. You're making a flat top. Money flow is remaining positive. VWAP's remaining positive. You got a little bullish divergence maybe on super low time frames, but I won't even count that. Let's see what the 1 minute looks like. Even down to the 1 minute, we're seeing money flow just hold on, where it typically would roll over. It's just holding on in these low levels. I like that. Here we are. Is this it? Is this it? Are you going up now? Go ahead. Go on now, doggy. You bounced your RSI moving average. Ooh. You might even have a little swing failure here. It's a little off. But if you return... There we go. Moving up. Moving up. Here we go. Move it live. My camera has been frozen, I know. This is the second stream ever where we've had this problem. I don't know what's wrong with it. It just, I don't know. I reset it. I powered it off. I unplugged it. I replugged it. It just like doesn't, it's just stuck on that frame, man. Just stuck on that frame. I just don't know what's going on with that camera. Powered on. It should work. There's nothing. There's some conflict of my hardware. I have to talk to got to talk to a video guy probably after the stream. Yep, won't work. I just unplugged and replugged it. Ooh, I see Andrew gifted 10 memberships. I'm sorry if this was a while ago. My thing is not working today. We got a lot of problems. 10 memberships, my dude Andrew, coming in as a little Bajarki Jr. here with 10, my friend. Thank you. The community appreciates that. I hope someone gifts you one. Congrats to Relax Calming Music Meditation, Patsy, Christian Karen, D.A. Local, D.A. Lloyd, my bad. Pepto, NBF Forum, Kip, Jonathan Schaefer, Mad Scientist. What's up, DJ Addy? Just subscribed as I was reading this. Bro membership, 29 months. Waiting on the book now. Oh, it's coming. What's up, Crush Kong, Doyle McPoyle from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Ahmed Zaki, a Russian name I can't pronounce. Flip Trip, Flo J, Fabio, Pierre Ornman, Mikilos Mar, Momentum Technologies, Harish Kumar, Dorn Shoham. I think that's everyone who subscribed. If you are sitting there and you haven't subscribed to our fam yet, help us get to 100K. We're racing Bitcoin to 100,000, and we're winning as of the last year. At one point, we were losing. We are growing through this bear market thanks to all of you showing up every day, watching the streams, hyping it up with me, being here. I love it. Good times. Good times, fam. The best of times. It was the worst, the blurst of times. It was the blessed of times. Just chilling, waiting for this to resolve. I'm looking for another move to the upside. We are going to 19.2K, says John Shelley. I like it. I like it. Doyle McPoyle. The Doyle McPoyles. What's up, Jamie? Andrew, my man, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you. Just sub. Thanks for the streams. Thank you, Alkijin, for being here. Appreciate you. Robert. Robert says, retweet the stream. I like it, Robert. How do you get a membership? Well, as of lately, we've had about 1,000 of them given away. So just interact with the live streams, enable gift memberships. Make sure you're subscribed and liked and chat in the stream, and the odds are in your favor, man. Did I look at Soul? I looked at Soul. I didn't have many thoughts. Soul is just chilling. I still think the same thing's going to happen. You're the best, Mr. Tom. Thank you, Israeli Fernandez. I appreciate you. You're the best. Even the people who I knew made tons of money eventually, lost it all in crypto. Stephen Conaway, I don't know how much a ton is, but I never lost it all. So not everybody. LFG John, that's right. They only lost it if they sold. VGX, what? Voyager? Ooh. You're great, sir. Subscribed 1.3 years ago. That's right. Delwar. Dude, people, that's the difference. Our channel, people come and like, they stick around. Sometimes they take breaks, but like, many people have been watching for years. I love it. Gaurav Rana, AXS? I'll pull up AXS. I haven't looked at this in a long time. I haven't looked at it in a long time, but it looks like TA's still playing. That's a nasty way. That's a nasty candle on the 13th. Looks like 582 is acted as supported, but yeah, bullish divergence there. Yes, you do. RSI higher, price equal. So weak bullish divergence. Market Cyber B looks pretty good on the day. Momentum is up and continuing. Somehow I got rid of my RSI there. There we go. You have the threat of bearish divergence on your highs. You're gonna have to move and test 1022. Not only do you need to test it, you really need to move higher. You really need to break this high so you can avoid this nasty setup on RSI. I think 1022 though is on deck. 1022 looks pretty on deck. It was support. Now you're testing it as resistance, as markets do. This wick down here really is wild, actually. It's weird. It traded up to $20 and down to $4 in the same day. So it made an 80% drop in a day from high to low. That's wild. 300% gain. I'm not touching this, but I think 1022 is a great target. Great target. Go test that previous support. Do it. Just break out already, Bitcoin. We know you're going to do it. You don't have to be shy. You don't got to mess around with us. You're going to do it. Go for it. Freaking just rip and run, man. Mr. Crown, any thoughts on Anchor? Paul Myrick. I do not. I'll pull up the chart. I don't have any thoughts on Anchor at the moment. I do. Is Anchor one of those like liquid Ethereum things, like in the LIDO category? Pretty similar to most charts. It looks like, I don't even know where this is from, but it looks like you hit a historical support on the day. You bounced. This actually looks a little weaker than some of the other charts we've looked at. It's interesting. You did retake 18.6. Maybe that's support now. You got a big old thing. You got a big old gap here. It looks a little weaker than some of the other charts we've peaked at today. However, there's kind of a redeeming factor here is you have, what do you got? You got like 2 price points maybe? You got like 27 cents and 50 cents, let's call it. You don't have that much resistance on the upside. 6. So this looks really nice. Looks really nice. This is very clean. You've got your low from 2020. You reached a high, you consolidated, you made a flat top ascending low pattern, you broke to a new all-time high, and now you've come back to basically test that previous resistance. That's pretty fancy. This line is not needed. This line is not needed. This chart was drawn. We started this chart back here. That's why there's so many lines on it. This looks pretty good. If the bottom isn't in for Anchor, although that's pretty compelling low. 12 cents, next support below you, and maybe even like 10 down here. I would not be surprised to see this trade up to, and sorry, I've been saying 10 and 20. I meant 2. It's down 2, single digits. Wouldn't be surprised to test the 20 weekly at 2.5 cents. If it can take 2.6, retake that previous support here, it'll be looking pretty great. At the moment, I don't know. Market's trending up. Up's probably the bet for a short, whatever amount of time. We'll find out in hindsight. Space Ape, can you draw a line from October 13th, 22 low to August 17 high? I can try. Brykaz. October 13, 22. Wait, so August 17 high to the low. Is we're going to go left or right? August 17. July, August 17. So 12K touch. Okay. To October low. Yeah, pretty funny. I didn't even connect that to anywhere. Looks pretty good. Some good TA. To October's low. Where the hell is October's low? Here? It's definitely right there at price for Shiesel. For Shiesel right at price. Yeah, that's cool. I think, I'll say this, that's cool. And it's interacting with price here, and hell, maybe price does reject from there. This is kind of where the pivot is. I will say, though, that this does kind of seem a little arbitrary. I think if you take any point and then have all of these possibilities of points to connect it to, you'll almost always find, you know, some kind of confluence or some kind of like correlation. The reason that I feel like this is a little random, and again, that doesn't mean it's wrong, but the reason I probably wouldn't have drawn this line is, well, you kind of look and it's like, how did this really interact with it? It had one touch. And then now, yes, but we fit that, you know, we fit that line. It didn't really have anything going on for the majority of its time. I wouldn't really do analysis off of this. This doesn't really follow kind of like the rules, I would say, of trend lines. And again, though, there really aren't rules. Like, there's no only one way to do it. It just seems a little arbitrary. It's very cool. It's very cool. I'm digging it. I like that it's like, all right, let's go down to like the 5 minute. I bet it's like right here. Yeah. Literally right here. This is that line. Make it blue. I mean, we'll leave it on the chart. It's interacting with price now. I think the reason I'd be hesitant is just it didn't really though. Like it didn't really at all. And then we're kind of connecting it to one low. I don't know. It's interesting. I'm going to leave it there just for you, my friend. Just for you. Our lows are still coming up. That top is getting flatter and flatter as we see this paint out. I like it. ChatGPT, I love ChatGPT. Love it. It's like the spider lines. I mean, the spider lines, the thing I'll say about those the thing about those is at least you have kind of a method to them. You have something that you're holding consistent. I don't know, man. I'm keeping this on the chart. Let's see how it plays out. I didn't accidentally. Did I accidentally delete it? Or is it moving? So on the 15 minute, it's a perfect touch. On the 5 minute, with the way TradingView does calculations, it's really far away. The 5 minute, I think, is erroneous, though. I think its true position is likely right there. Looking decent. Looking decent. Come on up, money flow. Come on up. Join us. Join us in the sky, money flow. You can do it. When damp. The dump was in our hearts all along. All along. Trust wallet. I don't know. I don't know how many more charts I'm going to do. How long have we been live? We got 530 likes. We blasted through 420. Well done, fam. Well done. We shall all blaze it together after the live. Holy crap. Okay. I've been on a long time. Didn't realize it. Did not realize because we started this early. I was like, oh, I've only been on an hour. No, we started at 12:40 because I saw this candle and I said, let's just start live. So we've been on longer than usual. It's already 2:30. Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy. Time flies when you don't have your camera on. That right. I don't want to look away until this breaks up. Like I really don't want to look away until this pattern resolves, but that could be a while. Like 9.3, 2, very, very local. Just taking our fib, connecting our highs to our lows on the 5 minute. Very, very local. Not high confidence on the 5. The flat top that we snagged, we sniped. We were looking for this flat top long before it was even tested over here. Playing out. Our lows are coming up. I think that's what we're looking for. 19.2, 19.358. It's pretty good. Pretty good. We still have 18 viewers over on TikTok. I don't know. I don't know how you're over there. What do you think about XRP? I got a weird setup, but it's making me profits. Cool, man. Think it's going up or down? I think it's going up. It's going up, baby. That's what I think. It's going up, but in what time frame? Oh no! Oh no! 23 minutes to 4 hour closes. No! No! Although we do have a nice bullish engulf here. That's what set us up on what? yesterday into that run. Set us up here on the 8th in that run. Set us up here on the 6th on that run. Set us up here on the 3rd on that run. Set us up here on the 1st on that run. So interesting. It does seem that the 4 hour, not here. That's the only miss. Bullish Engulf has been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 out of 7. 6 out of 7 of these moves up have been off of a bullish engulf on the 4 hour. Not bad. So maybe that's not the end of the world. Bearish divergence on our low time frames. 23 minutes looking for a bullish engulf for a 3 candle setup. Gonna want to see in the next 20 minutes 18,842. 18,842. Gotta keep that in my head. 18,840. So what's that? Wow, that's really tight. Right here. Like to see this hold into the hour for the bullish engulf / 3 candle long setup. So far, so good. So far, so good. Oh, man. What a spicy stream. Do me a favor if you're out there and you haven't subscribed, followed, liked. Please do so now. Give you a minute. If you haven't joined our Discord, discord.gg/TomCrown, jump in there. We'll be doing a live airdrop of BTC. I'll make you all Bitcoin holders just for being in our Discord. Every live stream we airdrop. So if you stay in the Discord, you'll continue to get them. That's right. Hopefully this moves. Hopefully this makes a move that we're looking for. I don't know if I want to wait for like an hour though. 20 minutes for this to close. I will say though, the spice has been giving me energy. When am I going to point out the 20 weekly Rika? That's what we started with. Started with it. We talked about that so long ago. We went all in depth, man. But for those of you who haven't been sitting here 2 hours, that's probably most of you. We looked at all of these moving averages. And actually earlier today, we were below the 20 weekly. Now we're above the 20 weekly with 3 days and 5 hours to go. There will be timestamps on this, so definitely if you weren't here in the beginning, go back, watch the intro. That's where we did most of the analysis. We already looked at that. We looked at it. We looked at Ichimoku Cloud. Ichimoku Cloud saying 20.3, next upside target on the weekly. Volume's low on this candle. We can see the 320 are kissing, and we see above us on the weekly the 50 and 200 actually threatening a death cross on the weekly. Threatening a death cross on the week. I have an interesting thing to do. Ma. Open the ma. This will be interesting. Yeah, we'll take this. That's not the one I wanted either. Go. This will be our 200. This will be our 50. Let's do a little not so kosher. This is very experimental. I do love doing this, but this is more on the experimental side of TA. Let's make a little plot. We need 2 lines. We're going to need 1 for each moving average. And what we're going to try to do is we're going to try and basically do our best to figure out the angle these are at. You got to be a little generous. You got to be a little generous with this. That's about as good as I think it'll get. Maybe I'll take it back a little farther. That's pretty good. We're going to do the same with our 50. This is something I love doing. And what we're going to do with this is we're going to try to estimate when these will cross. So we actually can see by these not really overlapping perfectly, we can see that the 50 is actually accelerating down and the 200 is still accelerating up. That's actually a good way to enter this cross if we're getting it, which is looking extremely likely almost no matter what happens with price. And what we're going to do is we're going to make this accurate by making these thinner. And we're going to basically guess, or we're going to try to project when these will cross. The second day of February. Might even be the first day of February. Right at the end of the month. That's freaky, I guess. Honestly, almost no matter what happens with price, we will see the weekly 50 and 200 death cross. Almost no matter what happens. Even if price does this, these will still almost certainly cross. This is going to be some great clickbait. You're going to be seeing that pop up on titles and thumbnails soon as the other creators slowly in their own time, figure this out. They are almost certainly not looking forward or at it right now. That's what we do here. We're the cutting edge of technical analysis. Death cross. Death cross. Don't fear the death cross. Roughly. Now, this can change a little bit. It could settle up, maybe a day plus minus. But roughly at the beginning of February, we will see the weekly death cross. I'm not sure the weekly has ever really death crossed before. Let's pull up BLX and find out. Death cross. Only at the death cross. Sounds like a Moto commercial. I don't know what a Moto commercial is. Okay, get rid of everything else. We've got the 50 and the 200 on point. Has it ever death crossed? Does not appear so. Look at this ring. Does not appear so. Actually, in fact, this is pretty cool. We look back to 2015. This is actually a pretty similar price action. We are below the 200. That makes it different. But we kind of have this higher low setup. We're coming off of a high. And you can even see this is pretty similar. This like smooth move up, right? They were set to death cross, but instead they did what I call a bullish kiss. Looks like they were going to cross December 15th. Didn't happen. So this actually has never happened officially. However, this has been the cycle of firsts and, when in Rome, man. We're going to see a bunch of crap for the first time. Let's rip the Band-Aid off and let's go. But that is, that's like all but locked in. Maybe I should tweet about this. Should I tweet about this? Spook everyone out. Fud everybody up. Fud them up. Fud them up, boys. I'll tweet about it. I'll tweet about it just so when everyone else figures it out, they'll be like, Tom tweeted about that. Here we go. Don't fear death crosses, fam. They're not what they sound like. We really should not call them death crosses. They are not death. In fact, we have seen some of the historic largest rallies off of daily death crosses. 2019, 40% rally in a day. They are not what they appear. Weekly death cross. Bitcoin weekly death cross. Feb 2. Well, at least I'll be the first person to tweet it. Let's get ahead of the FUD. We are the FUD. There you are. Just tweeted it. Boom. There's the link. What really happens in a death cross? A smaller moving average trends down below a larger moving average. That's it. That's really all it is. But it has a spooky name, so people love them. There's also the bullish golden cross, which is an equally terrible... Ooh, nice. Equally terrible title, because it's also emotionally inspiring. Just think of them as bullish and bearish crosses. That's really it. We're seeing some upside. 1893, let's go. With 15 minutes left, looking to close above 18,840, looking pretty good for now. Money flow, let's go. That's what we wanted. We wanted to eclipse this high here. Looks like it's happening. 19.2, 19.358. I'm scared, judges. Why are you scared, bud? No reason to be scared. We'll be here. You have this family to take care of you. You'll be good. I know, I'm motionless. The camera didn't work. I don't know, it bugged out today. It's only happened twice ever. I don't know what to do. I've reset it. I've reset it over and over. Just don't want to work today. It worked for BitBoy's show, and now it doesn't work. Ding dong. Ba-ding dong. Send more ding dong. Send likes, subscribes, shares. We're going to try to fight this out. We're going to try to like really stay on here till we get this move, because we've been watching it and we're looking for it. And so I want to see it happen. I just don't know how long that will take. So we're being cautious. It's good. Are you gonna play tunes? What a day for problems. Let's turn on a classic. It's a classic pump song. Will help. It's all it needs. Mortals. We love you, Ed. Love you all. Bitcoin's about to bust. Let's go, Big Tuna. Let's go. Let's go. Good music level. Alright. Punish the non-believers, I agree. We don't need to. They'll always be punished.
No matter how many gods fall, there will always be another.
No matter how many gods fall.
They will fall as well. Death of Olympus means the death of us all. Then prepare for your death, Poseidon.
God of Olympus. Let's go. I love this.
Should have kept you where you belong. No matter how many gods fall, there will always be another to stand against you.
Add in some timestamps while we have a minute.
Death of Olympus means the death of us all.
You refresh, you should see some timestamps now. Kratos. Timestamps are up. Somebody go ahead and check that. Give the stream a refresh. Let me know if the timestamps work. I don't know if they work if you put them up live. They weirdly do, but don't. Isn't that song hype AF? It's so hype. Love that song. Love it. What other classics do we have? Floor is Lava. Damn, the Floor is Lava though. That's no longer not copyrighted. What a good pump song though. Wait, is it? Is it letting me play it? Maybe it's not. I don't know. It's weird. It says it found it, but it won't play. Oh, here it is. A classic. Please don't strike us. Please don't strike us, YouTube. Come on. We're still going. We're not done yet. This is a classic pump song. Doesn't look like the timestamps work yet, but they're there. They will work after the stream. Drum and bass. Do some drum and bass. The problem is we have to be really selective. I love rhythm, Sadageki. I'm a rhythm head, man. Dub, rhythm, house, let's go. Lotus lava.
Watch out! The floor is lava! The floor is lava!
2 minutes till the hour is closed. Kitty, hey man, you know, I like a little bit of here, a little bit of there. A little bit here, a little bit there.
Watch out! The floor is lava!
Love it. Classic pump songs. Classic. You guys notice I've been cool as a cucumber. Haven't even blinked all episode, mostly because the camera's not working. We're coming up at the end of the hour here. 60 seconds to go. Does look like we're going to get our close 18,842. It's close though. It's close. Looks like we're going to get that hourly close. Bullish engulfed up here. 3 candle long setup. We're looking at this flat top descending low pattern, looking for our 1618 and 2 measured moves, 19.2, 19.358. Looking good. Ooh, no, 5 minutes, don't let me down now. It looks like... no, don't do it. Don't do it, you son of a bee. Don't do it. Where's Molly? Molly? You hear Molly? All right, we got the hourly close. We got the hourly close. That's awesome. Bullish engulfed. Check on the hour. On the hour. 4 hour closed. We were just looking at this. A 4 hour bullish engulf has led 6 out of the last 7 upside moves. There's a bullish engulf. Boom. Closed on the 4. Bullish engulfed on the hour. Don't really want to see trading below 18,842. However, I just got a new couch delivered. That's right, a new couch. It's been good to turn on some of these old school tunes. We haven't listened to the pump music in a while. We'll be bringing it back. It'll be here. I don't know if this, I'm not convinced this pump is over, but I have a feeling it's gonna chill out for a little bit here. We've been live for like 2.5 hours. So guys, make sure you've liked and subscribed, joined our fam, jump in the Discord, https discord.gg/TomCrown. Jump in there. If you're interested in writing for Crown Analysis, our newest project, last shout out. If you're interested in being a published author on our site, join the Discord. Send me a message. DM me. And we'll get you set up. Lots of people contributing. It's really awesome. That's what we wanted. It's supposed to be a highlight of other people, not myself. I'm just the one shilling it. Make sure to check out our sponsors, Bybit and Market Cypher. Links in the chat in the video description below. Sign up using our links to help support the channel. Industry leading exchange and trading tool there. Love it. This has been a hype as hell stream. I love you guys, but it is time for me to go check out this new couch. It was delivered during this live stream. We started early. It's been spicy. There's more spice to come. Remember, closing thoughts, remember, we had the most brutal price action year ever last year in crypto history, in my opinion. You made it. You made it through. It was not easy. It was not easy. It was so brutal. We're seeing some upside here. This is the longest string of daily green candles we've had in quite some time. It's okay to feel good. In fact, I highly suggest you celebrate it. Embrace those good feelings. The only thing I don't want you guys to do, and this is the caution, is don't give into it. Don't get FOMO. Don't change your trading plan. Don't change it up. Things are looking good. Let's all go blaze it. We have 620 likes. It'd be great if we get 690 for 69. Nice. Go enjoy it. But don't get wrapped up in emotions. Don't change your trading plan. Don't change what you're doing. Keep a level head. Remember the Bitcoin Zen. Keep that with you. I love you guys. We'll be live again. We'll see. 14th probably on Saturday. Something like that. We'll be live soon. Make sure you check out the playlist of shorts. We are up to almost 30 fire educational shorts. Check them out. Love you guys. I'll be publishing one tomorrow either way. That's it. 19.2, 19.3. Wouldn't be surprising to see those today. Time will tell. Love you all. Jump to the Discord. Crown out.